This is the review for the semester exam. So this is problem number 5. Use synthetic division to find the quotient and the remainder. So we're going to start with the v plus 4. So we start with this v plus 4. And we say, okay, since this is a positive 4, what's the opposite of a positive 4? That's a negative 4. So we put a negative 4 in the box. All right, next thing we want to do is to look at the polynomial and to determine whether or not we have all the exponents that we need. So we've got 8v to the 5th, so our first exponent is a 5. Our next one's a 4. Notice there's no exponent for that's cubed. So we're going to put plus 0x cubed, and then there's no x squared, so we're going to put plus 0x squared, and then we've got 5v to the first, plus 20, and that's v to the 0. So we're good to go. Those should be v's instead of x's, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because we don't need them until the end. All right, now we take our coefficients. The coefficient of the v to the 5th is 8, and we put an 8. The coefficient of the v to the 4th is a 32, so we put a 32. The coefficient of x to the 3rd power is 0, so we put a 0. The coefficient of x to the 2nd power is 0, so we put a 0. The coefficient of the v to the 1st power is 5, so we put a 5. And the coefficient of v to the 0 power is the 20, so we put a 20. Now, we skip a space, we draw a line, and then the rest of it is multiply, divide, multiply, divide. So first we bring down the 8, now we multiply. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32, add, we get 0. Now we multiply. Negative 4 times 0, negative 4 times 0 is 0, we add, we get 0. Negative 4 times 0 is 0, we add, we get 0. Negative 4 times 0 is 0, we add, we get 5. And negative 4 times 5 is negative 20, and we get 0. Now that's not the answer. Now we're ready to write the answer. So that's called the quotient, and it goes under the q of x. So we start with that 8. So we put 8v. Now, since the original polynomial was to the 5th power, we rewrite it by taking it down 1. So our quotient is 8v to the 4th power. And then it'll be plus 0v cubed, which we don't write, plus 0v squared, which we don't write, plus 5. And 5's our constant. There's the quotient. And the remainder in this case, the remainder is this last number here. And in this case, the remainder is 0. So the r of x stands for the remainder is 0. And of course, those should be q of v and r of v. I don't know why I put a v in the problem and an x everywhere else. But these are the answers. The quotient is 8v to the 4th power plus 5, and the remainder is 0.